Alright you guys, welcome back to another tutorial on my channel where we are going to build this lovely, simple starter cottage house for your single player worlds that I'm assuming most of you are going to be restarting with the new 1.18 update that's coming out very, very soon. But without further ado, let's get into this tutorial. Alright, so to start, we're going to build a 3-block wall here out of cobblestone. Then we're going to turn it, take it another 2 blocks. This is going to be our doorway, and we can go ahead and put a stair right here because that's going to be our doorway into the house. We're going to turn it again and come out another 2 blocks, like so. This direction, we're going to go out another 4 until we have something like that. And then turning it again, we're going to come back out 2 more blocks until we have basically a shape like this. Now continuing on for here, we're going to go ahead and bring the sandstone here out another 2 blocks and then over another 4, so we should have a total of a 5-block long wall here. And then again turning it back in on itself 2 blocks in, and again 2 blocks over, although we will have the 3rd block at the end like we do here, also cobblestone. So now you should have a shape like this. Then on this side we're going to bring it out another 6 blocks, and then 1 more block of cobblestone until we have a shape like this. And finally on this last section here we have 5 blocks open. On the first corner here we're going to come out by 2 blocks and then connect it right there until we finally have a finished layout like so. Sorry to interrupt this little tutorial. If you do like my tutorials on my channel, please make sure you leave a like and comment if you have anything you'd like to see me build in a future tutorial, and subscribe if you're new because I'd love to hit 1,000 subscribers eventually. Now back on with the tutorial. Now continuing on, you're going to want to bring all of these walls up by 5 blocks, so let's go ahead and do that. Now we're going to go ahead and quickly carve out where we're going to put our windows and doors. So I said we are going to have a door here, so I'm going to put out 2 blocks and then put a stair there. We're going to also have a window here, so it'll have a stair. It'll be 2 blocks tall and a stair on top. This wall as well, 2 windows, 2 blocks tall, with stairs flanking it to frame it out a bit. Over here on this side, we're going to have a window here, but no stair, because then you would see into the house, unless you decide to build an actual wall there, but you don't have to. But 2 blocks tall window. This one's going to be a 3 block by 2 block window, and then another 2 block tall window until you have a shape like that. On the back side here, we're going to have a 4 by 2 window, like so. And then finally on the side here, we're going to have another 2 tall window on the sides, like this. And then another 3 by 2 window, like this. You can also put a window here if you'd like, but I decided not to, just because I just decided not to. Totally up to you though. Now I filled most of these windows in with black stained glass just because I liked the look it gave it. However, you can of course pick whatever you'd like. And then for windows like this, I did put an alternating color in the middle so that you could see clear lines just to give it a little added touch of decoration. And I was wrong, we do need these walls here because the glass cannot connect to anything unless there's a wall there. So let me build these walls up until it looks like that. Now I did use a dark oak door for the door, however you can use whatever you'd like, as long as you like it. The last thing we need to worry about for the front entryway is to put a little wooden fence here that goes up 4 blocks tall. You can have it connecting if you want, but I don't really care. And then filling in this patio with some type of block. I chose stone, but of course you can pick whatever you'd like. From here, we're going to get started on working out the roof because the roof is the main thing about this house. And once we get the roof in place, we can figure out how tall the extra walls are going to go up. So you're going to start on top of this hole. You're going to bring it out 1 and over 1 until it's right on the corner block away from this fence. And this is going to come out all the way until it hits the wall, but not over. Although if you wanted to, you could. I just didn't see the point. Now I am using polished deep slate stairs, but it's up to you what you would like to use. Now I brought the stairs down and around, and I end at 1 block on the other side of this wall because this little stuck out part of the house is going to have its own ceiling to it, so we don't need to worry about that for now. Now for here, we can go ahead and start working on our main arch. I just did a stereotypical Minecraft roof where you do a stair and then an upside down stair back and forth until you get to the very top. And for us, the very top is right here. Then instead, we're going to put an upside down stair at the very top and then finish it off with a slab to give it a little extra bump to it. Now you can go ahead and take this down until you meet it up on the other side, until you have something that looks like that. For this smaller little stuck out piece of the house, we're also going to do the same thing. Start it on the corner from here and then just meet it up, going upside down and regular side stairs until you meet in the middle, just like the one up above, and finish it off with a half slab on top. And then you should have something like this. Now we're going to go ahead and fill in all the spots that you can see through the roof arch that we have built here until you have a shape like this. Although you could fill it up even more and bring it down farther, but that's up to you. I'm just showing you the bare minimum amount of blocks you need to actually make it look good from the outside. Now for the rest of this roof, instead of using the polished deep slate, we're going to switch to actual cobbled deep slate just so that we have a difference of texture and it gives us more variation, which is a little more interesting in my opinion. And you're just going to make it match everything that you've done on the other side with the polished. So we have it connect into the wall like so. The only thing different is that instead of having it up by half a slab, I have it in line with this top stair here. So it gives it a little bit more of an arch to the actual ceiling until you have something that looks like this. And for all these corners here at the very top of the roofs, we're going to go ahead and put dark oak fences that are open, gates that are open like this. Now before we continue the roof, we need to finish building up this chimney here, which is going to go up another 4 blocks, 2, 3, and 4, from where we had this outer wall already. It is going to end on this section here, so you don't need to bring this third piece all the way up 4 more blocks tall because it's also going to be cut off by the roof that's going to go here, so you won't even see this block anyways. At the very top, we're going to use black stone walls to mimic the picture you see on the thumbnail that has this upper part where it lets the smoke out. And then on behind it, we're going to put a campfire 1 block below and cover it with a block until you get this nice smoke effect that looks like it's coming out of here when it's really not. Starting again from the corner, like so, and then you're just going to do the same old basic upside down, regular stair, upside down, regular stair, repeating until you meet in the middle, like we did on the other side. And of course, a slab on top. Then, like I said before, we're going to finish it off with the regular blocks there of sandstone and then a fence gate right there. Now, just like the other part, we're going to fill this roof off with more cobbled deep slate versus the polished. And again, bring this part down by half a slab until we have something like that. Now, in case you can't tell, this stair is going to come all the way down the roof until here, which leads us to this particular question. What do we do here? And my answer to that is to actually extend the roof a little bit longer. So we're going to actually get rid of these blocks. My bad for having you place them. Bring this all the way down until it makes a little square, like so. Then from here, we're going to just kind of have it arch around in its own way, if that makes any sort of sense, which I know it could be very confusing. I'm going to do that. Until we're in line with the rest of the roof, like so. Now right here, I know I had this as the cobbled deep slate stairs, but we're going to actually switch it to the polished deep slate because this is going to be our larger roof that's going to connect us to here. Now, the easiest way to do it is to take this half slab all the way across until we're 1 block out from this wall, so to here, and then to work backwards until we reach the very bottom of this stair, which would be like that. But in case you can't tell, we have some holes we now need to fill. Instead of putting an upside down stair here like I normally would for the roof, I went ahead and just put a full block. And same thing with this piece here, although it really just needs a top half slab to cover that gap until you have what looks like that. And of course, now you can bring this down the other side. And again, we're going to want to stop until we're 1 block over this wall here. And now you should have a roof that looks like that. Now you can go ahead and fill in this wall here with sandstone until the entirety of what the roof doesn't cover is covered. And of course, put another fence gate right there. Now I went ahead and added a few extra windows, just 1 block below the fence gates, like so, and over here as well. This one looks a little weird just because of the height of the wall, but you could get rid of that if you didn't like how it is, which I kind of don't, so I'm gonna leave that plain. Now, most of this roof that's left to fill in is kind of self-explanatory. You just follow the the deep slate that you have here already until you meet at the top. However, the one tricky bit is this front portion here. See, you're gonna bring the cobbled deep slate down like so until it reaches over here, which makes sense. But then on this part, it connects into here, which is totally fine, and I actually embraced it. You could choose to leave it like this if you'd like, you know, so it kind of looks like it just goes up like that, but I chose to connect the roofs because I wanted to, and I had it have this weird little gap here. Of course, you could always turn this into a full block instead if you'd like. And then from there, you just fill it in while going around the fireplace that we've put in its place right here, until you get to the very top of the roof. Now for this very top portion, like I said, we had this part come down to be in line with the stairs, so I just did that for the middle section there. Again, so we have a little bit of extra definition on the ceiling. Now, you have most of your house intact, and you could leave it as such if you'd like, but this wouldn't be a Iondis build without some texturing, as you can see over there. So I'm gonna go ahead and texture this up. For the cobblestone walls, I used cobblestone, andesite, mossy cobblestone, and tuff, as well as actually threw in some walls here on this section, just so it added some definition or anything like that to give it a little more interesting look. Then for the sandstone, I alternated it with sand and sandstone, but that's about it for the variation. And then the last main thing that you need to know about this is that I used these dark oak signs to frame out the windows that stuck out like this until you have something. Can I click, please, and thank you? That looks like this. If you want, you could also put a window here because it clearly has a space for it. In fact, I think I like that, so I'm going to do that as well. Although I firmly recommend doing this when you've already textured everything, because if you have to put sand in on those blocks, you're going to have to replace the signs and everything, and that's not fun. And then finally, the last part that needs actual dark oak signs. This one you can choose to take it all the way across if you want, or just leave it like so, up to you. And then the last piece of detail before the texturing that I'm going to do is I added more gates on the cobblestone or any type of stone pillars, so it looks like it's a little more sturdy and provides a little bit more interest when you're looking at the build. Until you have something like that. And now that the texturing has been done on the walls, the last thing left to do is to actually texture the roof, just to make it a little more interesting. And I decided to do that by using a few cracked slate tiles, and then a few actual deep slate blocks, if I could place them properly. And then a couple random deep slate tile stairs, until you have something that looks like that. And of course, you could always texturize this if you'd like as well. It's just a little harder to do since there is even fewer blocks to work with compared to the main section there. And just like that, you have a finished little starter cottage house. You can ignore that little gap you see there with the walls that I put in. It won't be like that in the original texture pack if you're playing with normal Minecraft textures. That's just because my texture pack has it different because of previous updates. But yeah, that's gonna have to do it for this tutorial. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Let's take a quick little walk through the inside to see how much space. It's a pretty decent amount of space for a starter house when you think about it, and enough space that you could like section off some walls, like put a wall here and have this be a bubble later to your mines, put a wall here, have this be a bedroom, and the rest of this be open storage, open concept type of living conditions, or put an actual kitchen and dining room if you'd like. But yes, as I said, that's gonna have to do it for this episode. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure you leave a like, comment if you have anything else you'd like to comment, and subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll see y'all in the next one. Until then, bye guys.